We have an all new edition of the Pro Wrestling Show as we talk about what's going on in all of pro wrestling during this week. What a busy week. As we talk about on the Raw Ring Report, Drew McIntyre, Bobby Lashley still at each other's throats. MVP continues on to instigate Drew McIntyre to do something. With Bobby Lashley still gunning to get the championship that eluded him for 13 years. We'll talk about that. And also a big win for a superstar that's been on the downside lately and went up to the trade check. We'll talk about that. Also on the SmackDown side ring report, we'll talk about WHODUNIT. SmackDown kicks off with a WHODUNIT is Jeff Hardy. Apparently, some people say it was a hit and run, but I think a certain superstar has a hidden agenda to get to that Intercontinental Championship title. I'll tell you I believe who may be here. And also in your NXT within your house. And countdown in your house where Tommaso Ciampa, KROSS continue to play these mind games with Scarlett and midst of it. And Keith Lee and Mia Yim plays games with Johnny Gargano and Candice LeRae in the absolute worst way possible. And on the AEW Ring Report, AEW pulls out the shots as debuts from a former WWE tag team and debut from a boxing great who made an impact on Le Champion. And our hot topics, we'll talk about a whole litany of hot topics going on where WWE re-signs Drew Gulak and a lot going on with his athletes from international foreign athletes coming back into the grand as the coronavirus starts easing out with a lot of deaths still rising, but restrictions still with travel ban ease up. And we'll talk about Jeff Jarrett, his lawsuit with Impact Wrestling. All this and more when the Pro Wrestling Show starts right now. Everyone, welcome to this edition of the Pro Wrestling Show. I'm your host, as always, Ken Dix here. Glad you can join us here on the Pro Wrestling Show. So glad we're back in the studio. Thank you all once again. Joining the hashtag Pro Wrestling here on Connect and join that conversation. Like I said, the conversation is Pro Wrestling. And don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe is caring. Call a friend, tell a friend, subscribe. Love to hear when you subscribe here on the Pro Wrestling Show. It makes wrestling matters. And that's when you are important out there because you keep us going. And thank you once again for watching. All right. We got a whole things to do today, a whole list of things. Let's get started with the Raw Ring Report. On the Raw Ring Report this week, well, Monday Night Raw kicked off with Apollo Crews challenging Andrade for the United States Championship. This was Apollo's last chance and had cracked Apollo's at Andrade's goal. Well, Apollo Crews been down his luck for quite some time, but Apollo Crews measured up that offense, the defense, and Apollo Crews did the impossible. Apollo Crews won the United States Championship in front of some of a small crowd as WWE starts easing restrictions to letting its WPC performers start, come on, start letting them, get the cheer on, get the boos on, get that groove back. Don't be surprised in time crowds start coming in and stuff like that. Also, the Iconics had a promo. The Iconics returning back had a promo, and then they fought against the current women's tag team champions, Alexa Bliss and Billie Kay. And then, like I said, Billie Kay and Peyton Royce beat down the women's tag team champions, as I guess they're Raw contenders. So Billie Kay and Peyton Royce leaving the message as they was former tag team champions. They won the titles at WrestleMania and came back recently. Thought it was gonna be a breakup, but the Iconics might be stronger than ever coming on Raw. Also, WWE champion Drew McIntyre appeared on was MVP's guest on his VIP lounge. As MVP was trying to get inside of the champion Drew McIntyre, but Bobby Lashley was trying to come out there Drew McIntyre knew what was heads up. He nipped up, and he nipped up with his suit and gave MVP the Claymore kick and left MVP lane. So MVP and Lashley has to strategize now and find new strategy in order to defeat Drew McIntyre to become Bobby Lashley will be WWE champion. Also, Kevin Owens went against AJ Gardner, and AJ Gardner tried to blindside Owens. Kevin Owens got the best, tried to get the best of AJ Gardner, but AJ Gardner won by pinfall. So AJ Gardner looks to be like the next breed of Eddie Guerrero. You can see that Latino heat fire in him. He's going to make a statement. Like Eddie Guerrero. I can see him being the next Eddie Guerrero, just like his uncle, Hector Garza. Also, Raw Tag Team Champions, the Street Profits. They've been doing a lot of series of competitions with basketball and axe throwing. This time, it was like anything you can do, I can do better. So, we play a man's game of golf. Well, the Street Profits beat the Viking Raiders in golf. So, what this is going to lead to, we don't know. It might lead to a tag team championship match at Backlash. That's what I'm assuming. So, we'll see with that. Also, Seth Rollins leads the flock. Seth Rollins leads his faction. I call it Raven's flock, but he leads it. Austin Theory, the newest disciple, and the current disciple, Murphy, went against Aleister Black and Humberto Carrillo. Seth Rollins become the inspirational leader of Theory and Murphy. He's leading into the chart. Could we see this be a tag team title situation down the road? But at the end, where Theory beat up Humberto, Murphy, and Aleister had their issue back in the day. So Theory and Murphy won over the tag team, Black and Carrillo. Seth Rollins threatened Carrillo after the match, almost rammed his eye like he did Rey Mysterio. And we heard too that Rey Mysterio is supposed to have a retirement ceremony next week. So don't be surprised if Seth Rollins hosts that ceremony to usher in his feud, unite his feud with Rey Mysterio coming in full. Alright, so Edge came, did a promo, talked about when he's going to dig deep to beat Randy Orton at Backlash. Some is billed as the greatest wrestling match ever, Edge versus Randy Orton. We've seen it dozens of times. They want to build as the greatest wrestling match. That's how WCW built Hulk Hogan Piper, match of the century. We'll see. Edge, could he pull one offensive left in him? One last fight in him to beat up Randy Orton at Backlash. We'll see. Also, Nia Jax competed in a triple threat match along with Natalya and Charlotte to see who was going to be number one contender for Asuka's Raw Women's title. So Nia Jax won the match over Natalya and Charlotte. Nia Jax used that Samoan drop, and then she pinned Natalya, and Charlotte looked it clean. I think she pinned one of the two, but Nia Jax gets her way and she goes against Asuka for the Raw Women's title coming up at Backlash. It's going to be a hell of a match. And then finally, the main event was as the Street Profits were in the back doing their thing. Bobby Lashley and MVP told them something, and the Street Profits didn't like it and challenged them to a match. Well, the tag team champions went against the number one contender for the WWE title, Lashley, and his associate, MVP. And speaking of that, MVP and Lana not getting along. So I don't know what this is going to lead to. How they're going to wipe Lana away from Lashley. Still there. Well, it ended in a disqualification. McIntyre fought with Lashley to end the show. So Drew McIntyre wants a piece of Lashley real bad. He'll get his shot and defends his championship against Lashley at Backlash. All right, that is the Raw Ring Report this week. Let's move over to the SmackDown Report. On the SmackDown Report, the show started out with performance in one angle that Elias had been in a car accident and the blame was on Jeff Hardy, who the car for hit and run was registered to. And that was kind of like, what's going on? Then there was alcohol in the car. Hardy was disoriented, smelled of liquor, so he was arrested while Elias was taken away in the ambulance. As a result, the roster complained about what should happen with the Intercontinental Championship tournament. AJ got a bye while Dan Bryan opted to fight for his spot. Since nobody can agree on the fight, Adam Pearce set up a battle royal right to challenge Bryan. Now, first and foremost, I want to know this. Who didn't just figure out who's the perpetrator? Like, AJ should be the culprit because he's coming from Raw to SmackDown and he wants to come to the championship bad. That's the time they're leaving him. And nobody ain't questioning that. Nobody in the whole roster didn't question AJ's motives. Like, hey, why you are outsider? You coming to become one of us. Why are you coming down there when nobody didn't ask that? Daniel Bryan, I commend him. Come on now. They're just kind of like typical WWE booking from Bruce Pritchard. And it's like, it's easy. Make us believe that it was AJ. AJ can say, no, it couldn't be me. And so it could be somebody else. You know, do a twist. It could be Dan Bryan. You know how that go. But Sheamus, the Battle Royal hit. Everybody competing in the Battle Royal. SmackDown had his fans. Same like Raw and NXT. Sheamus won the Battle Royal. Earned his shot in the main event against Dan Bryan. 1-1. The winner will advance to meet AJ Styles for the championship. Bryan beat Sheamus in part due to distraction by Jeff Hardy, who came out of nowhere, who went after Sheamus. So I don't know if Sheamus got something to do with this. AJ, somebody got something to do with it. I'm thinking it's AJ that pulled these strings, or he had multiple superstars. Because AJ, coming out from Raw to SmackDown, come on, man, come on. Speaking of that, Cesaro eliminated Shorty G legally, which set up a match between the two. Shorty G was unhappy. Shorty G tried to get his revenge on Cesaro. Shorty G was one of the final four. Cesaro tried to help his friend Shinsuke Nakamura. But Shorty G beat Cesaro by pinfall. So Shorty G making the mark and might start a feud with Cesaro. And many people don't wonder too what Ali was during this crowd. Ali got to be the hacker. I'm telling you, he's the hacker. He's the hacker indeed. Speaking of that, the Sassy Southern Belle Lacey Evans changed Twitter war with Sonya Deville, and they sell their differences in the ring. Well, they fought one-on-one. Each woman gave each their offensive move, but fought to a double count. So this battle between the two is not far from over. Also, during a moment of bliss with the New Day, it was a tag team summit where champions, some with the New Day, the SmackDown Tag Champions, Alexa Bliss and KROSS, the Raw, the WWE Tag Team Champions. They were interrupted by the inaugural Women's Tag Team Champion, Sasha Banks, and Bayley, the SmackDown Women's Champion, who talked trash on how they could beat Alexa Bliss and Nick Cross just like that. If the titles were online anytime. Bayley then volunteered Banks against a match against Bliss, which I know Sasha Banks didn't like that one bit. Well, Miss Banks won the match over setting up a tag team time match next week. So we got the current women's tag team champions against the former women's tag team champion and the first women's tag team champions. So it should be a good main event next week on SmackDown between these two tag teams. Damn, Sasha Banks look good as hell. Tell you. All right. There was a parody of the Fast Time Richmond High thing with Mandy Rose, Daydream by Otis in the Pool. This is repulsive. This is sick. That he push Otis to the moon, the max. Why is man and drooling and crazy about him? You need to be drooling and crazy about me or somebody else. Mandy Rose, you never know. Blunt, average chick might like a fat dude and want to be like that. Some of them, you know how that go. And finally, the main event was Sheamus one-on-one against Daniel Bryan. I think we talked about that. Also amazing news that Kurt Angle announced in the video package that Matt Riddle has joined the SmackDown roster. So Matt Riddle will appear on the SmackDown roster in the coming weeks. Matt Riddle had his match. We'll talk about it later on the NXT report with Timothy Thatcher. What's going on with that? So we'll talk about that later on. So that ends the SmackDown Ring Report. All right, when we return, we're going to have hot topics. Let's talk about a litany of hot topic issues, such as AEW, WWE, and many others. Don't want to go nowhere. So stay tuned. On the Pro Wrestling Show starts when we return. Stay tuned. To the Pro Wrestling Show. I'm your host as always, Ken Diggs here. Glad you can join us in the Pro Wrestling Show. Thank you all for watching the video. Don't forget to join in the conversation using the hashtag Pro Wrestling here on Connect. Thank you all once again. Join in the conversation using the hashtag Pro Wrestling. Don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe is king. Tell a friend, call a friend. Let them know that you, if you love wrestling content, the Pro Wrestling Show is for you. You own. And thank you all once again for watching. Let's get to hot topics. Well, hot topics this week. We just learned, found out breaking news right now that a lead WWE SmackDown writer has been fired, and the name is Chris D. Joseph. Many of you may know him as Big Dick Johnson. Chris D. Joseph was fired by WWE. He returned back in December, starting TLC, and now he has leave and left walking papers. We'll get more to the story shortly, later next week on next week's edition of the Pro Wrestling Show. But for right now, Chris D. Joseph, according to the Wrestling Observer, has been released, has been fired from WWE SmackDown and WWE in time. All right, more to that this week. Security declared athletes exempt from travel ban and wrestling is not included. So what that means is that technically, wrestling, we could probably see some of the wrestlers coming back from foreign, like Europe and stuff like that, which they're saying the Department of Homeland Security has announced that athletes are now exempt from the travel ban to the U.S., which is currently restricted from people entering the country due to the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. The order was signed by acting Homeland Security Chief Chad F. Wolf. This includes essential staff and their dependents to foreign athletes. So, Wolf said professional sporting events provide much needed economic benefits, but equally important, they provide community pride and national unity. In today's time, America needs their sports. It's time to open the economy. It's time to get our professional athletes back to work. So, however, the list does not include professional wrestling, UFC. The list includes Major League Baseball and other stuff. But the Wrestling Observer saying WWE is not comment on the issue, although it will benefit them if the wrestling gets added. So right now, it's still that WWE, I guess they're saying baseball needs to get back in order, but wrestling kind of like is not on their exempt list and stuff. So, there you go. Speaking of that, more news on Cain Velasquez's release. Many people said Cain Velasquez got released because due to this pandemic, he was brought in because the issue that brought Lesnar to avenge his loss, the Saudi deal, so he can be a big name, big sports name in Saudi, than Tyson Fury, and help Fox, promote Fox with the SmackDown deal to get Fox to agree upon, and Fox want more sports stars and stuff. So that's the reason why. Also knows that Samoa Joe has permanently been added to the WWE Raw announce team, replacing Jerry Lawler. A lot of people saying Jerry Lawler probably got released just for, how the hell that go this week. So Jerry Lawler, I don't know, because I've been wondering what the King been at all of a sudden. You kind of know what the King's been doing. We don't know for sure what Jerry Lawler's been up to as of late. Let's see. Also, Drew Roulette has been rehired at WWE. We know that Drew Roulette contract had lapsed. Drew Roulette they said he's been agent Larry Boone that figured out a way to have WWE pay him more. He's back on the roster. He probably saw him this week on SmackDown. And now Roulette is back on SmackDown, making more money, and probably getting more respect too. Yeah. Also, Nigel McGuinness, NXT announced, has been furloughed by WWE, which that means furlough means that he's been laid off. He's not going to get paid, but he'll come back when things get back to normal. So look for that down the road. So, like Nigel McGuinness, and if he lose Nigel McGuinness, he's going to go right back to Ring of Honor and announce and commentate again. I don't know what they doing. All right. And also, Bray Wyatt and JoJo welcome a second child. It's a girl named Casey. So congratulations to JoJo and the Fiend, Bray Wyatt. All right, Bray Wyatt taking all this time off. Okay. So, any more? Also, Ember Moon appeared on WWE backstage. She kind of said that she may have a career-threatening injury with her Achilles. And she doubts she might return to the ring, but we hope Ember Moon gets back and better and get healthy and get back in shape. Because, Ember Moon is that she has the right stuff. Also, WJ Jeff Jarrett is currently in a lawsuit against Impact Wrestling. You know that Jeff Jarrett was working for Impact prior to come back to WWE. He had lent his company at GFW to Impact, and now Impact, you know what I'm saying? Impact Jeff Jarrett and Braun the feud due to they had to delay it, but they found a date. It's going to be sometime in June, the court date. Jeff Jarrett gets his tape rights from Impact and stuff. So we'll see how all this plays out in the coming weeks. Hot topics report for that. Let's move over to the NXT ring report. NXT kicked off with Drake Maverick won the interim Cruiserweight Championship semi-term triple threat final against Kushida and Drake Atlas by pinning Atlas while he was tapping out to Kushida. The finals will take place next week. Drake Maverick on momentum on the roll due to the fact that he was let go and Drake Maverick out dig deep and found his new niche and he wants to stay. When Cruiserweight title, WWE ain't got no choice but to offer him a spot again. That's more heart, you think you're done and you ain't done. Also, Johnny Gargano defeated Adrian some job by submission. But real interesting, after the match, Mia Yim and Keith Lee made fun of the Gargano, where they like to do the flashlight situation like. They did a period of talking trash about Gargano and Candice LeRae's, split personalities or something. LeRae will fight Mia Yim next week as Johnny Gargano will challenge Keith Lee for the North American Championship at NXT TakeOver in your house. So it's gonna be good. They could do a mixed tag team match. Hey, them two couples mixed tag team match in your house for the NXT North American Championship. Mia Yim pins what's her name? Keith Lee still NXT North American champ. Or Candice pins, vice versa. So there you go. Speaking of that, Rachel Bizarre was in action. That's huge, sexy, tall woman in Amazon defeated Chauncey Blackheart by pinfall. There's a lot of distractions there. What's the girl name? Tegan Knox and Dakota Kai was fighting each other at ringside. You canceled Ray made an appearance. And I think Dakota Kai was playing with Chauncey's army tank or something like that. Speaking of that, NXT Women's Champion Charlotte Flair was in action. She was in tag action with Chelsea Green, who's kind of like her doppelganger, her double mid twin, where they went against Rhea Ripley and Io Shirai. As Io Shirai and Rhea Ripley will challenge Charlotte Flair in the triple threat match at NXT TakeOver in your house for the NXT Women's title. Well, they had to work together as a team, as last week they went against each other. This time, they couldn't beat the match of the two tall, lengthy women, Charlotte and Chelsea Green. So this, hey, they gotta put their differences aside. They want to, do what they have to do in order to win. Speaking of that, William Regal and Adam Cole talked on video chat. It's crazy about the tile situation. And Adam Cole said he defeated Velveteen Dream. He's done with him. And Will Regal don't think so, and he begged to differ. Will Regal said Velveteen Dream will face Adam Cole in your house in a special location. So they're going to film this for the NXT title. However, if Dream loses, he will not get another opportunity at the championship so as long as Cole is holding the championship. So this is a do or die for the Velveteen Dream to win the NXT title, the title that's eluding him. Also, Tommaso Ciampa defeated Jobber, WWERAW, but Scott Bordeaux was watching closely at ringside, a bird's eye view of something. And, Tommaso won, but Scarlett walked back up to the ramp until Killer Kross came on the screen and sent a direct message to Tommaso Ciampa that he's going to do some doomsday TikTok at NXT TakeOver. So Killer Kross be showcasing his first match at NXT TakeOver one-on-one. And finally, the cage fight with Timothy Thatcher went against Matt Riddle, with Kurt Angle was the guest referee. It looked like Fight Club or UFC version with the referees and fans, but Timothy Thatcher had lost two teeth or something like that during the match. But he lost. Matt Riddle, Timothy Thatcher lose, but Matt Riddle lost. So thus Matt Riddle heading to SmackDown. Timothy Thatcher sending Matt Riddle away. It should have been a loser leaves NXT match, but they didn't do that. Come on. I'm saying that's what it should have been. But it ended with that. All right, that ends the NXT Ring Report. All right, let's move over to what we've been talking about, the AEW Ring Report. All right, the AEW Ring Report. We're coming off the heels of Double or Nothing, where the pay-per-view was an Extreme Classic. New champions, new rivalries, new debuts and stuff. And there was a debut on Dynamite as well, as the first match was Private Party versus Joey Janela versus Matt Hardy and the Young Bucks. It was Matt Hardy just being vintage Matt Hardy, going back from 1999 to 2004 to 2009-ish, something like that. But Matt Hardy showing that he can be a true ring general, the Young Bucks ring tag team ring generals. Matt Hardy, good match. Matt Hardy did a moonsault on the three, on Pirate Party and George Janela. Matt Hardy trying to put all his spots in, beat up Isaiah Cassidy, beat up Mark Quinn. The Pirate Party had their upper shares against the Young Bucks, but at the end, Matt Hardy won the match. And Mark Quinn had an injury. Matt Hardy walked him in trying to make sure he was okay. And they left the Young Bucks out there until the Butcher and the Blade attacked the Bucks. They kept beating them up, did a beat down until a familiar tag team showed up. The Young Bucks, not the Young Bucks, but the group, the Revival. Now they call themselves FTR. You can't say it on here, but that acronym stands for, but they will call themselves the Revolt. The FTR, we thought was going to attack the Young Bucks, and the Young Bucks been on their YouTube channel, being the elite, mocking them with WWE wanting them to wear like clowns or something. But turned around and went downtown on the Butcher and the Blade did their move, the Shadow Machine, and the Young Bucks were gonna shake the hand to the FTR, just turned around and walked away. So I don't know what tension and heat is gonna happen with that. So it's gonna be fun to see FTR now, as AEW's tag team division is getting stronger day after day. Now they get Gallows and Anderson, it's done. Our tag team champions, what their name? Ryder and Hawkins. You know what I'm saying? Speaking of more debuts, we talked about last week on the show and we predict the outcome. Brian Cage, the Machine, debuted at Double or Nothing, and he was in that battle royal, in that ladder match, and Cage won the ladder, and Cage won that poker chip to earn himself a world championship match, and he will happen at Fyter Fest against the current champion Jon Moxley. Well, Cage wasting no time against Lee Johnson, destroyed him. Cage doing his power moves. Cage with Taz, survive. He let you. Taz like Taz. Cage won the match, and then Cage did a snap kick, a German suplex. Taz laughing from the ramp, which Taz should do. Cage hit the vicious power bomb and a buckle power bomb. Cage hit the 3 o'clock for the win. And Taz joined Cage in the ring, left Jon Moxley know at the announce table that Cage wants the title. Cage is going to beat you to get the title. He's going to tear your heart at the chest. Taz tell Moxley to understand this. The Machine, Brian Cage, survive if you listen. Like I said, he's at Fyter Fest. He's dealing with something that he never felt that he was going to deal with. It was a good debut. Singles match with Brian Cage. Just dominant. Looks great. I like him with Taz. I do. But, he's way better than having Taz on commentary. I love AEW using managers to argue, tenant guys. So, it's a good thing. So, Cage versus Moxley for the AEW World title at Fyter Fest with Taz. And then I kind of want to see Cage be more like the Ultimate Warrior. They ain't done that. So, just said build him up as a machine. They going back to his Lucha Underground day when he was a tweener. He was heel at first and he turned good. He got Impact. He was more good. Now they turned him back to the Lucha Underground days. Speaking of that, the segment of the night on AEW, it was 2 segments of the night. One of them was Dr. Britt Baker was brought on a wheelchair to the stage. And she, and then back it says role model. Tony Schiavone is on top of the ramp interviewing her. And Dr. Britt Baker comes with these conspiracy theories saying that 3 women of last week's, when she wrestled, the new women's champion, Portia, former women's champion, Nia Rose, and Chris Stanline. Well, she broke it down saying Stanline is a piece of, what, new women's champion was in on it, and Nia Rose, since she knew Nia Rose was going up and top all the time with precision, she did it intentionally and stuff. Broke her triple up. And she showed pictures, she showed other, and then she pointed out all the evil has been done by Aubrey Edwards, who's a referee in the match. It was so funny. It was the most. Dr. Britt Baker is winning people's hearts with her saying. She's just saying stuff that most people want to say, but don't have the guts to say it. I love Dr. Britt Baker for. Dr. Britt Baker is a breath of fresh air. When she first came to AEW, she didn't know how she was going to be that baby face. And then when she started getting more heelish, more devious, more devastating, and more attitude, like rude, you gotta love that. You gotta love that Dr. Britt Baker was like that. And she pointed out Aubrey Edwards was the one that, man, I'm telling you. So, Dr. Britt Baker said she'll be back at All Out, which she'll get her revenge. I believe so. I believe it. Also, speaking of who Dr. Britt Baker inspired, one of the perpetrators, AEW Women's Champion, her Sheila was in action against Krista Jane. It was a non-title match. Hero Shooter won the match, showcasing her skills with a vicious knee strike on the outside. So Hero Shooter looks to be that. Also, not a bad match with that, but it was a little too long for the new champion. Hero Shooter making her name, making her statement. Also, interview with the new TNT champion, Cody. Cody won the TNT champion. I'm so happy for Cody. Cody said he tried to wrestle the world championship. He vowed that if he couldn't win it, he would not challenge for it. He didn't. So, hey, he booked himself to win the TNT championship, secondary title. Cody now on the scrap belt. And then people online saying the belt looks ugly, devious. I like it. It brings reminiscence of the old TV championship. So, you can't hate but like that. Cody saying that, giving his story that no one didn't believe him. Cody said he's going to fight. He's going to be a fighting champion. Cody said he's going to set the pace. Cody said next week he's going to be defending the title each and every week, starting next week. And we will find out that who is Cody going to face next week. I love it. This brings back when John Cena said he's going to defend the U.S. Championship every week on U.S. Championship Channel. So it was good. Speaking of that, Kip Sabian and Jimmy Havoc went against SCU, Frankie and Scorpio Sky. The winners will get a World Tag Team title match. Sabian quickly hit a quick draw and tags. Havoc, it's kind of like they're a real collective team, Sabian and Havoc. But it was an okay match. I'm glad Havoc and Sabian got the win. And I see newer teams in the tag team picture, which that should matter. And we'll see how this all will play out next week, where the tag team champions Heyman Page and Kenny Omega defend against Sabian and Havoc with Penelope Ford ringside. Penelope Ford, which should be a distraction outside to capture the World Tag Team titles from the current champion. We'll see on that. Also, MJF is backstage with a promo, and he just saying they're undefeated again, and has been a title match and stuff. And he tries to say some slick stuff to Warlow. This reminds me of reminiscence of Diesel and Shawn Michaels. They was best friends on the same page. Now you can see the tension rise. You can see that the tension about to break, and he finally sees his ways. Well, we got to that main event where there was no more contenders. Battle Royal. The winner faced Cody next week on Dynamite. The participants were MJF, Warlow, Jungle Boy, Luchasaurus, Marco Stunt, Brandon Cutler, Peter Avalon, Chris Colt Cabana, Christopher Daniels, Billy Gunn, Sun Kiss, Luther, and Orange Cassidy. It was back and forth, and the match was that. And you had MJF was going to hit, I think, Jungle Boy until he hit Warlow, and then Jungle Boy and Orange Cassidy, he was in the match. It was like a pet or a flapper of talent. MJF throws Warlow, not MJF, but Orange Cassidy and Jungle Boy team up together, threw Warlow off the ring, and then left MJF. They threw his ass out the ring, and then next thing you know, is down to what's his name? Orange Cassidy and Jungle Boy. I know Jim Cornette ain't got no love lost for Jungle Boy. He say little stuff and saying Jungle Boy could anyone hurt him, none of that. And he hates Orange Cassidy, called Orange Cassidy pockets. But at the end, it was a competitive match. Jungle Boy eliminates Orange Cassidy and earns himself a spot against Cody 1 week. It's gonna be a good match between them two. It's gonna be real good. So we got that. And finally, the final segment was one of the most signature segments of the night. The highlight of the night, besides Dr. Britt Baker, was Chris Jericho and his phonies came out there and said they would rise again after they suffered the loss against the Elite in the Stadium Stampede match from last week. And they had a pep rally. They held a pep rally. How would you hold a pep rally losing and then pep rally is supposed to be when you winning, or you gonna do one beforehand. Chris Jericho wanted to do a pep rally, so they had a lot of shirts from the truck earlier. They had to give it away, so you know how they go. Sammy Guevara and handle random sayings. Santana Ortiz gave Jake Handler a pair of discount Timberland boots. Jake Handler read a poem about punking him dipshits about winning the stage stampede and the other line from the movie Take It. Well, Chris Jericho called out Mike Tyson for attacking him 10 years ago. Tyson turned on him on Monday Night Raw. Couple years. I don't know why they use a WWE angle to do an AEW angle. And Jericho wants his head on a platter. Sammy Guevara said he has a cheese platter and a bubbly. Tyson comes out there with his entourage. And Jericho tells Tyson to shut the hell up. Jericho had been dreaming him on for 10 years. Tyson turned on him and knocked him out. But this stems from when Mike Tyson and Chris Jericho teamed up together against DX. Mike Tyson turns around, knocked Chris Jericho out, leading DX to win the win. Tyson said Jericho is a sucker and he deserves it. And Jericho said give him one chance. And Jericho demands an apology. Tyson rips off his shirt and tries to start flexing, trying to be up all in his face. And Mike Tyson is a fine nut job. Like, how do you want Mike Tyson in your face and doing all this? Like, he ain't afraid of the man, but the man is really crazy. He's intimidating. Jericho said he looks great, which Mike Tyson is trying to be in boxing shape, but he needs to apologize before we punch him out. Mike Tyson shoves him, and Jericho shoves back. In a fight, the fight explodes, and this dude, it was a big brawl, broke out the locker room. They had to keep these two men back. Tyson tried to get back at Jericho, but they tried to keep back. Jericho screams for Tyson. Like I said, it wasn't a big on the inner circle pep rally. It was really entertaining, but pretty good get for AEW to become when Mike Tyson his first pro wrestling match, which I'm assuming where it's going. Not saying how they made it look like Ice vs. Tyson 20 years later, but overall it was a very enjoyable episode of AEW. Good follow up double or nine. A good way to start some new rivalries in motion. So Mike Tyson leading the charge and want to, show his chops. And it's been a long time since Mike Tyson been in the ring like that. But we'll see. All right. That is the AEW Ring Report. That is our show for this week. As we talked about everything going on in the world of wrestling, and we hope to do so next week. Next week, we will have probably 2 versions of Pro Wrestling Show. Next week, we'll have the In Your House. So it won't be no NXT Ring Report next week. It'll be just covering In Your House on the matches and stuff. And then the Pro Wrestling Show for Raw, SmackDown, and Hot Topics in AEW. So, for that, I've been your host, Kenny Dick, saying so long, and this has been the Pro Wrestling Show. See you later.